Yes. Hello, 45 Apple Charlie Papa channel. And today I'm going to bring you my newest gun show deal, my newest acquisition. Well, let's talk about the gun show. Now, this is the first gun show that I've been to since President Trump took over. I didn't think it was going to be that busy, but the place was packed. And I'm not just talking it was just busy. I'm talking, Sandy Hook, after Sandy Hook type packed. It was asses and elbows in there. It was full. I was really surprised. I had to park a little further than I normally do. I thought there was another event going on at the fairgrounds that day, but they were packed. Seems to be most people were looking at handguns. Now, I did not see the panic buying like I was seeing after Sandy Hook, but there were a lot of people there, a lot of people looking at handguns, self-defense weapons. I don't know if it's a bunch of Democrats that have finally come to our side and said, hey, maybe we might want to get a self-defense pistol or something, but it was packed. Saw the average stuff there. Looking around, if you got towards it, like I said, if you got towards the pistol table, you had to wait a little while to be able to weave your way in there to take a look, see what they had. But I did find a couple interesting things. I didn't go there to really buy a gun. I was going to go buy some accessories and stuff. I didn't have a whole lot of money on me, but I found a couple good deals. The first deal, and I ended up passing up on this, but first deal I had was a 995 High Point carbine, 9mm, for $250.
Dude, yes. It's a $230 rifle.
Yes, Mr. Smiles, they are a $230 rifle, brand new. This one, however, had an ATI stock on it, a brand new ATI stock. Those are the ones that look like the Berettas.
You put a body mod on a Miata, it's still a freaking Miata.
Yeah, but it was a sexy Miata, okay? It also had the rail on it and a scope. So if $250 wasn't that bad of a price for what it was, I probably could have talked them down a little bit, but ended up passing that deal up because I went a couple tables down and found something else. And what I found, something a little interesting. I'm always trying to bring something interesting to the table on the channel. Maybe not necessarily what you see all the time, but what I've got here is a Bulgarian Makarov. Now this one is a little interesting because it's got the extended ported barrel on it, and it's had some work done to it. But let's go ahead and take this to the bench and take a closer look at this Bulgarian Makarov that I picked up at the gun show. All right, what we have here, now the Bulgarian Makarov is a true Makarov. It's a true copy of the Russian Makarov. Now this one is a 1981 example. Bulgaria made these from right around 1970 until right around 2007-ish. So they made quite a few of these over the years. And there are still Makarovs out there that are being used. The original design goes back to late 50s. So the Makarov is a really nice little pistol. It's a blowback, very accurate because your barrel doesn't move. Very unique gun. I really like the Makarovs. I shoot them very well. I'm looking at getting more. I've got the P64 and I've got the CZ82. Both of those are not true Makarovs. They shoot the Makarov round, but I still can kind of consider them Makarovs because the Russians mandated that those Eastern Bloc countries use the 9mm Makarov round, and they mandated that they had a gun that would shoot that. So, Bulgaria, they didn't design anything. They just did a direct copy of the Russian. Now, this one is a little different. It's been worked on. Somebody at some point has Duracoated this weapon, and they added a ported barrel, something that was available back in around the late 90s from what I can gather. It's a stainless steel barrel. It was made by Federal Arms. And then they also Cerakoted the star grip here, green, OD green, and put some grip panels on it. Points very natural, very nice in the hand. A little heavy, but not bad. I put a little witness marks here on the sight so you can kind of see how the sights work on that. The safety, for a slide mounted safety, it's in a really good position because you can as while you're drawing, disengage the safety. So I like that. Let's go ahead. The gun is clear. It breaks down like every other Makarov out there. Just basically pull the trigger guard down, pull it up and off the frame, and it's broken down. But let's take a look at that ported barrel. You know, nice stainless steel ported barrel, very nicely done. I really like the gun. Let's get it out to the range, shoot it, and I'll give you some more of my impressions of this pistol.
All right, Bulgarian Makarov, first shot. Run a couple magazines of cast, reloads.
All right, we're back from the range, and as you can see, it's a fine shooter. I was real impressed with the accuracy of it, but it's a Makarov. I should be impressed with the accuracy of it. Was shooting a little low at first. I adjusted my sights, my sight picture anyway, while shooting, and you know, it's right in here. I can drift the sights over a little bit, and we'll be more in the center line there. But at 7 yards, it's a pretty good little shooter. Let's take kind of a walk around this pistol and some of the stuff that's been done with it. Really nice example of a Makarov. Now, this one, like I said, this one has had some work done to it. Somebody's Duracoated it. Somebody's added this ported barrel. Now, the ported barrel, that was made late 90s by Federal Arms. They made a run of these barrels, stainless steel, standard grooving. The nice thing I like about the barrel is, you know, it shoots lead bullets just fine. I wasn't getting any kind of leading with the lead bullets. You know, as you can see, they were plenty accurate too. I shot both lead and jacketed out of this. This target is about 55 rounds, so shot really well, really consistent. You know, you get a few outliers here and there, but at 55 rounds, you're gonna have a few of those. I did have a couple of issues with this. Now, it was about 30 degrees out when I took this out, so the controls and stuff kind of loosened up on it while I was at the range. I think, you know, the cold had something to do with that. One of the issues I was having is that when I was putting the magazine in with loaded ammunition. Now, these are dummy rounds. I make my own Makarov rounds. I do cut them down from 9mm Luger. It is a conversion that can be done. So if you're interested, check out my link up above here, and it will tell you how you can convert 9mm Luger cases over to 9x18 Makarov cases, and they work very well. But again, the ported barrel on this, as you can see, real nice job with the porting barrel. I did not have any feeding issues with it. I did not have any ejection issues with it. Like I said, the controls had kind of loosened up a little bit when it was cold outside, and when I was putting the magazines in, it was tripping the slide release and loading around when I was putting them in. Now, let's go ahead and I'll put the magazine in now, and it probably will not do it because we're in a nice warm environment, but it was acting a lot like my M&P 45. When you added that magazine into it, it was dropping the slide. It's not going to do that now. We're in a nice warm. Oh, there it went. It did do it. So yeah, that's something that I can get a new slide release for it, and that should clear up that problem. I'm not too worried about that, but you know, it is something that is going on with this, and I think the slide release is right around $15 for a replacement, and there are replacements out there. Trigger on this, the single action trigger. You can see we are clear. Single action trigger on this is, you got a little bit of take up, but it's pretty decent. It's a nice crisp. There's a little bit of slap behind there. The double action trigger, again, is long, hard, but it is smooth. It's not gritty. And again, the nice crisp brake, a little bit of slap, a little bit of over travel on it, but a very manageable trigger. As for the reset's not too bad. A little bit of an audible click, and right back to single action. So it's a very nice trigger for a military firearm. I've got an affinity for these Makarovs. I really like them. I really like mil surplus. You know, whenever you can find a duty grade gun at a $250 price point, it's, you know, you owe it to yourself to at least take a look at them. With the 37-year track record that this one has, I mean, they were obviously very good pistols, very reliable, and that's what I have found with them. The other issue I had, this does have a floating firing pin in it. One of the other issues I was having is I was getting some nose strikes every once in a while, and it just was not striking. Either there's one of two things that's going on here, and I've got a new safety lever on order. I think there may be a little bit of slop in the safety, preventing that hammer going all the way forward. The other thing, these do have a floating firing pin in them, so because it's got a floating firing pin in it, it seems maybe it's a little dirty or it's a little hung up in there. Let's go ahead and take the gun down. You should be able to hear that firing pin floating or flopping around back in there, and you're not hearing any of that. So I need to clean that firing pin channel, and between the safety and the firing pin channel cleaning, that should take care of that issue that I was having. But again, like I said, no failure to feed, no ejection issues. The thing just ran. In fact, my 9mm Luger converted cases with the lead ammo was ejecting very, very consistently. I found them all sitting in one nice little pile, and that's a little, you know, for Makarovs, that's not the norm. Usually they like to spit ammo or cases all over the place. Again, you've also got this heel release for your magazine. So it's got the heel release down here. Now, because this one has been worked on and altered from its original design, I am looking at, once I get the firing pin issue fixed, where I'm getting the light strikes periodically, once that's fixed, and I think that's going to be relatively easy, just replace the safety real quick, clean the firing pin channel. The firing pin is easy to get to on these. I mean, you flip the safety up, and there's the firing pin. The firing pin's out of it. So, real simple to do, real easy to change and clean the firing pin channel on these. I think I'm going to look at once I get this firing and working consistently, I'm looking at the Fab Defense hand grip for this that will relocate, give you a button here and connect and link into the bottom here so that you actually have a magazine release up here instead of down here. But hey, these Bulgarian Makarovs are out there. They are fine little pistols. They're running right around $299 to $320 at Classic Firearms at the moment. You can pick up a wonderful example of these guns, and they are a very good, durable little gun. A great little concealed carry piece. They're not too big, they're not too small. The 9mm Makarov round is a pretty decent round. It's a little bit more than a 380, a little bit less than a 9mm, but ballistically it can get the job done, and there are some very quality high point or hollow point ammo available for this. But this is 45 Alpha Charlie Papa, and just wanted to show you my new Bulgarian Makarov. We'll continue to, I'll put that safety in and stuff and see if we get that the function with that light strike taken care of. Now, when it did do that, all I had to do was pull the double action trigger. That is one nice thing about these single double action triggers. If you do have a failure to fire, a light strike or no strike, you do have that option of that double action, and hit that thing a couple more times, other than having to rack the slide and clear the weapon. So this is 45 Alpha Charlie Papa channel, and I am out.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.